Let's spend a minute and let's talk about rotary switches. This happens to be an Alcoda unit, portable diesel fired. Pretty common to have a rotary switch on it. This is part of it right here. This is the back side of the switch. We're going to cover a couple of things here. One is that when we mount this is get your switch body right here, and then we also have a mounting plate, which is right here. And then we have the indicator plate right there, and then we have the rotary knob right there. So the way this thing is assembled is we actually, once our wires are connected, then we can go ahead and we can slide the entire switch assembly up in the back, and we mount it up here in the front, and then we're just going to line up all four holes across the front. Once we get that lined up, then we're going to take our mounting plate, and our mounting plate then is going to go on the outside. And then our screws are going to go through. We have screws right here, and we have nuts right there. So our screws are going to go in through the front on the beveled portion so that the screw head is flat, and then across the back here when the two pieces line up, the nut goes across the back. Then the last thing that goes on there is going to be our indicator plate, which tells us where our position's at, off pump and burner, and then our little rotary, our knob. And our knob on, some of them have a screw, a mounting adjustment right here in the middle where my finger's at. This one happens to be on the inside. You can see if you tighten that screw, that it'll go ahead and it'll hold itself onto the rotary switch just like that. As far as the wiring goes, let's talk a little bit about the wiring. Wiring, typically these things will have some type of a wiring diagram on them. This one right here, you can see it's got an L1 and an L2. And then you can see that the way that they're indicated right here, L1 and L2, there's kind of a notch. Okay, and I'm gonna drop my finger. It kind of goes like this and then back around like that. L1, if it's got a line across the back of it, and then the front of the L1 is open. On the open end, that indicates where the wire goes. So if it's L1 and the right side of that box is open, then the wire goes to the open side. L2, the right side is open. On the little box, indicator box is open, so that goes to this side. On the very top of L1, there's another box, and the left side of that box is open, which means that if you're going to use it, that indicates this terminal right here. L1 and L2 is always your incoming power supply. So we have a black and a white. This is a 110 volt unit, so we're going to actually run the hot leg and the common leg through the rotary switch, which is fine, as long as if we start with black on L1, that we continue the same sequence, you know, black on top, white on the bottom. So then we can come around here to the other side of the switch, and we just need to identify these two wires. I know go to my pump motor, and then I've got here on this indicator, it's a 1 and a 2. On the 1, the left side is open, which means that it's the left side that I want to hook up my wire to. On the number 2, the right side is open, which means that if I'm going to use number 2, then I want the wire on the right hand side. So in this case, 1 and 3 will feed the water pump. When we go from off to pump, it energizes and powers up 1 and 3. So my pump wires are at 1 and 3, and you notice black is on the same switch side on the top, and then white's on the bottom. I haven't mixed them up. Now when we get to the burner circuit, you can see number 2, the right side is open. And so then my wires were indicating that we're going to go on the right side. Number 4, the right side is open, so we're going to go here. Same thing. I've got the black on top, I got the white on the bottom, and when I change the rotary switch from past the pump selection to the burner selection, once I get to burner, then these two are going to have power to them. And that's how you wire it up. Go ahead and grab a switch if you need to, get a continuity checker, review the video. If you have any questions, contact your manager, visit us on the web, www.aefresno.com.